people. So we visited the Past Museum of Contemporary Art in Miami Beach, Florida, and got to see the exhibition there. This was a bit ago, so the exhibition may have changed, and I will put all the details of the artist on the screen hopefully, so you can do further research and have a look at the artwork.
China Kappa jumps to 2 feet creep up the road, to photo to record me lumps and war. Their ancestors is chance very yellow white flash. A violent red Christmas rips light as lift like grass, but so high from the leak avalanche, mine is a watery pit, painless with immense distance from medic, from colleague, friend, enemy, foe, in 5 years from his leg.
There was a piece of work which was a kind of pixelated experience. I don't know that much about it. I will put the name of the artist on the screen and more information in the description box, but I think that was a really interesting experience in today's world where everything is about vision and how we interpret information and being fed visual information the whole time, advertisements and social media, and to have a pixelated experience of life and to have the physical space around you in a pixelated version of reality was a really interesting experience and something that makes you think about the way we view the world and the information we're seeing around us. There's a book that I read which I was recommended to read by a Buto instructor, which I'll put the link, not the link, I'll put the title on the screen here, and it speaks about how we live in a very visual world, and of all of the senses, the one that we put the most focus and importance on is the sense of vision, and we are constantly being fed information and we are told this is how you should see something, and in movies you would have them depict an emotion in a very illustrative way, and it is leaving the rest of our emotions and the rest of our senses, well, probably more our senses, but leaving the rest of our human experience homeless, and integrating touch and integrating the other senses into our work is so important to this world and to the human experience. So to have a room which was pixelated and had the human experience taken apart and a bit more mysterious was really interesting. I feel like so the exhibition on when we went there was called Blind Spot. I'll put the information below, and it was what looked like a big car wash. Probably one of my favourite pieces in the museum and part of the current exhibition. I thought it was really fun and interactive in a very kind of subtle way, because it wasn't something that you touch or interact with in an immediate way, but it was something that was very all-encompassing and very experiential. The memory that it made me think of the most was going to a car wash, which I think is the very immediate thing that it would bring up in one's mind. Is a very direct correlation, a very immediate feeling that brings up. But I don't know what the artist intended with the work, and that's why I want to have a look and see what she says. And that's generally how I like to experience art. I like to go see what I think about it and experience it in person and come up with my own conclusions and my own associations to the work, and then do research to understand what the artist was trying to say. I feel like it's a very interesting dynamic between the two. I don't think art has to always represent what the artist was trying to say. I think art should be open to interpretation, and you could see whatever you want to see in it, but at the same time, I think as an artist it's nice to know that people are somehow receiving your message and your concept when you are creating art. So yeah. It's got thread wrapped around it, or sewn in some.
What?
Do you see that?
What?
The thread. The new work that I am talking about, I'm gonna put the title on the screen here, but it was a site-specific work which comprises 5 automatic car wash brushes constantly twirling and wearing themselves down against metal plates. So I think a lot of the themes and interest in the work of this artist is the way objects change over time and sort of the evolution of things. And it says wear, corrosion, erosion and breakage. And early on it speaks about her work, which is meant to be humorous and playful, as well as address more serious things about consumption and decay. It feels so, if you like stand here, I feel dizzy, like stand there, stand facing in. Something so simple, but it feels like the experience of standing near it is so interesting. And it's so much more than just moving fabrics. I don't think I took much footage of this, but it was a big, tall bookcase with a lot of books, and the intent was that anyone could take a book from the library, or probably more accurately, the bookcase. And what I really liked about this art piece is that these books could have come from a multitude of different places, and they are being accumulated in one place and then are going to be dispersed into a multitude of different places. I don't know if the artist intended to restock the shelves. That's something interesting to consider. but I do think that, you know, I don't live in Florida and I went to visit and I came back with this book, which I picked up there. I haven't read it yet, but it is C.S. Lewis' The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. And there was a variety of different books. There was medical books, novels, literally every kind of book. And I think to me what was really interesting as well is the height of the bookshelf was so tall that lots of people wouldn't be able to reach beyond a certain height. And seeing the upper bookcases have quite a lot of books and the lower bookcases having less books was something that was really interesting to me personally. Yeah, I just chose a random book. I thought it looked interesting. I like this author. I don't know if I am going to enjoy the book, but I figured might as well give it a shot. And I think the sentiment of where it's come from and that kind of collective experience of the individual is really interesting to me. This piece was called Monetary Monument, the Library, which is a site-specific interactive installation displaying over 2,000 books gathered in Miami Beach and saved from their destined disposal. So, interesting. That means that these books were going to be thrown out and the artist gathered them and put them in the exhibition space, which then means other people can access the books, and yeah, the books are again being repurposed or saved from its decay. I think an interesting thing about this piece of work for me was that someone came up to me and told me that you can take a book, and that's something I find really interesting with artwork, is when you are told you're allowed to interact with it. And I think it's a very tricky thing to maneuver in art, is wanting audience participation but not wanting to force the interaction. Another piece of work that happened with, I would also be sharing some clips of. It was a full room installation with lights and mirrors, reflections, and sound. And one of the components of the sound was if anyone in the audience or any member of the general public decided to use the drum kit, that would influence the lights. So the sound influenced the light. And what was interesting to me is that I didn't know that you were able to drum, and the security guard in the museum came over and told us, oh, you can play on the drums, which was nice and helpful. But the question is that necessary? And if it is necessary, how do we feel about that? I think it also depends on the amount of people in an exhibition space at any given time. If there's lots of people already playing on the drum, I don't think you need to tell anyone. I think they'll see. But that does bring up that question of participation of the audience, and how do you get that to happen in an organic way, or does it not matter if it doesn't happen in an organic way? So I think that's an interesting question about that work, but it was something that was really immersive and a profound experience, especially watching other people and how they interact with it, and especially watching children and the way that sound is a very immediate thing for them to react to and experience. Okay, let's go to a juice place. This is I am not going to go through all of the artworks in detail because the exhibition is still on. I believe it is on until April, and I do suggest going to see it if you can, and if you are in Miami Beach, it is an interesting exhibition to see. And if you do go, definitely message me on Instagram, tell me what you think, and if you don't go, you can send me a message too and let me know your thoughts and opinions around the artworks that I have shown on this video. I will hopefully be posting another video next week, so do stick around and I'll see you then.